welcome to our channel. Today we're sharing some essential garden tips and tricks that every gardener should know. Whether you're a seasoned green thumb or just starting out, these simple hacks will help you create a thriving and bountiful garden. We'll cover everything from soil preparation to plant selection, ensuring you have the knowledge to make your garden the envy of the neighborhood. So grab your gardening gloves and let's get started. Before we even think about planting, we need to talk about soil. It's the foundation of your garden, and just like a good baking recipe, it needs the right ingredients. The first step is understanding your soil. A simple soil pH test will tell you its acidity or alkalinity. Most plants prefer slightly acidic soil around 6.5. But don't worry, adjusting it is easy with amendments like lime for acidity and sulfur for alkalinity. Next, let's talk about organic matter. Think of it as the vitamins and minerals for your soil. Compost, aged manure or leaf mold, these all work wonders. They improve drainage in clay soil and water retention in sandy soil, creating a happy environment for your plants to thrive. A good rule of thumb is to add a couple of inches of organic matter to your garden beds each year. You can mix it in with existing soil or use it as a top dressing. Now let's talk about tilling. While it's tempting to bring out the heavy machinery, sometimes less is more. Over-tilling can disrupt the natural soil structure, leading to compaction. Instead, opt for gentle loosening with a garden fork. This aerates the soil, allowing roots to penetrate easily and access those precious nutrients we talked about. Remember, healthy soil equals healthy plants. So take the time to prepare your garden beds properly, and you'll reap the rewards for seasons to come. Now that our soil is prepped and ready, let's talk about everyone's favorite topic: watering. It's all about finding that sweet spot, not too much, not too little. The best time to water your garden is early in the morning. This allows the water to soak deep into the soil before the sun gets too intense, minimizing evaporation. Avoid watering in the evening, as damp foliage overnight can invite fungal diseases. We want to keep our plants healthy, not create a breeding ground for problems. Now, how do you know if your plants are thirsty? A simple finger test does the trick. Stick your finger about an inch into the soil. If it feels dry, it's time to water. When you do water, water deeply and less frequently. This encourages roots to grow deeper into the soil, making your plants more resilient during dry spells. Overwatering is a common mistake and can be just as detrimental as underwatering. It leads to root rot and other problems. Remember, it's always easier to add water than to take it away. A good soaking once or twice a week is usually sufficient for established plants. However, newly planted ones might need more frequent watering until their roots are established. Pay attention to your plants, they'll tell you what they need. Wilting leaves can be a sign of underwatering, while yellowing leaves can indicate overwatering. Remember, every garden is different. Factors like soil type, weather conditions, and plant types will all affect your watering needs. And lastly, consider investing in a good quality watering can or hose with a gentle spray nozzle. This will help you deliver water directly to the roots where it's needed most. Every gardener knows the frustration of unwanted guests in the garden. But before you reach for those chemical pesticides, let's explore some natural, environmentally friendly ways to keep those pesky critters at bay. First and foremost, prevention is key. A healthy garden is a strong garden, better equipped to resist pests and diseases. So remember those soil preparation and watering tips we discussed earlier. Now let's talk about some natural deterrents. Many insects are repelled by strong scents. Planting herbs like basil, rosemary, and lavender around your garden can act as a natural insect repellent. Another effective method is companion planting. Some plants naturally deter pests that bother others. For example, planting marigolds alongside tomatoes can help keep those pesky whiteflies away. Next, let's talk about beneficial insects. Did you know that ladybugs are natural predators to aphids? Attracting beneficial insects to your garden can help keep the bad guys in check. Creating a welcoming habitat for these helpful creatures is easy. Plant a variety of flowering plants to provide them with nectar and pollen. You can also provide them with a water source, like a shallow dish filled with pebbles and water. Now, let's address those pesky slugs and snails. These slimy creatures love to munch on tender leaves and seedlings. A simple and effective solution is to create a barrier around your plants using crushed eggshells, diatomaceous earth, or copper tape. Remember, a little vigilance goes a long way. Regularly inspect your plants for signs of pests and address any infestations promptly. Early detection is crucial for effective pest control. And finally, embrace the presence of some insects in your garden. Not all insects are bad. Some, like bees and butterflies, are essential pollinators, playing a crucial role in the health of your garden and the environment. Let's talk about composting. The magical process of turning kitchen scraps and yard waste into nutrient-rich black gold for your garden. It's easier than you might think, and the benefits are truly remarkable. First things first, you'll need a compost bin. You can purchase a ready-made one or easily build your own using readily available materials like pallets or chicken wire. The key to successful composting is maintaining a good balance of green materials like kitchen scraps and grass clippings, and brown materials like dried leaves and shredded paper. Think of green materials as the nitrogen providers and brown materials as the carbon contributors. Aim for a ratio of about 2 parts brown to 1 part green. Now, let's talk about what you can and cannot compost. Good green materials include fruit and vegetable scraps, coffee grounds and eggshells. Avoid composting meat, dairy and oily foods, as these can attract pests and create unpleasant odors. For brown materials, dried leaves, shredded paper and cardboard are all excellent choices. Avoid adding glossy paper or anything treated with chemicals. Once you have your bin set up and your materials ready, it's time to start layering. Begin with a layer of brown material followed by a layer of green material. Water each layer lightly to keep the pile moist but not soggy. Turn the compost pile every week or so using a pitchfork or shovel. This aerates the pile, which is essential for decomposition. You'll know your compost is ready when it's dark, crumbly, and has an earthy aroma. Using compost in your garden is like offering your plants a gourmet meal. It improves soil structure, enhances drainage, and provides a slow and steady release of essential nutrients. Composting is not only beneficial for your garden, but also for the environment. By composting food scraps and yard waste, you're diverting waste from landfills, reducing greenhouse gas emissions, and closing the loop on the nutrient cycle. Now comes the fun part. Choosing the plants that will bring your garden to life. But before you get carried away by those vibrant blooms and luscious leaves, it's essential to choose plants that are well suited to your specific climate and soil type. Start by determining your hardiness zone. This will tell you the average minimum temperature your area experiences, which is crucial for selecting plants that can survive the winter. Next, assess your soil type. We talked about soil pH and composition earlier. Now consider its drainage capabilities. Does your soil drain well, or does it tend to hold water? Once you have a good understanding of your climate and soil conditions, you can begin selecting plants that will thrive in your garden. A great resource for this is your local nursery or garden centre. When choosing plants, consider their light requirements. Some plants thrive in full sun, while others prefer partial shade or even full shade. Observe how much sunlight different areas of your garden receive throughout the day. Another factor to consider is the mature size of the plants. You don't want to choose a plant that will eventually overshadow its neighbors or outgrow its space. Don't be afraid to experiment with different plant combinations. Mixing annuals, perennials, herbs, and vegetables can create a visually appealing and biodiverse garden. Consider incorporating native plants into your garden. These plants are adapted to your local climate and soil conditions, making them low maintenance and resilient. Remember, gardening is a journey, not a destination. Don't be afraid to experiment, learn from your mistakes, and most importantly, have fun. Thanks for watching. I hope these gardening tips and tricks inspire you to create a thriving and bountiful garden of your own. Remember, gardening is a rewarding and enjoyable experience for all. Don't forget to like, comment and subscribe for more gardening tips and tricks, and be sure to share your gardening journey with us in the comments below. We love hearing from fellow garden enthusiasts. Happy gardening